Hi everyone, good evening and a very warm welcome to Thorough Newspaper Analysis. Now this is the video for 10th of July 2024. Let's proceed further and have a look at the pointers of discussion for the day. So first of all, we have the news update segment, and this is going to be followed by the last segment of legal news. Today we do not have the editorial segment. We didn't have a suitable editorial to discuss for the day. So therefore, we'll just be having a look at the news updates and the legal news for the day. So let's start with the national news, and this is the first update here. Supreme Court appoints former Chief Justice Lalit as the head of search panels for vice chancellors in the state of West Bengal. Let's understand the purpose of this committee and what is it about. So the Supreme Court has appointed former Chief Justice of India Lalit as the chairperson of the search cum selection committees, and this is for appointment of vice chancellors in all state universities in the state of West Bengal. Now, please understand this is following a rift between the government, the TMC government in the state, and the state governor, thereby leading to a chaotic situation in such institutions. Next up is an update with respect to the state of Maharashtra. So the 15th Agriculture Leadership Awards Committee, it found that Maharashtra, it is the best state for farming for the year 2024. Justice P. Satshivam gave the award to Maharashtra. This is for its progress in innovative farming and improving rural areas. Union Minister Jitendra Singh launches Indo-French Liver and Metabolic Diseases Network. So the Union Minister Jitendra Singh, he launched Indo-French Liver and Metabolic Diseases Network. This is to prevent and cure metabolic liver diseases, and this is at the institution or the Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences in New Delhi. The minister said that this network, it aims to tackle common metabolic liver disorders and also non-alcoholic fatty liver diseases. He noted that 1 in every 3 Indians has fatty liver, which can lead to type 2 diabetes and other metabolic disorders. Now, the next is an update in the category of sports for the day. And please understand, this is a very important update. If you remember back in April, I believe, we discussed an important update about Mary Kom, the boxing legend, being chosen to the post of chef de mission at the Paris Olympics 2024 for India. But now she has been replaced. She resigned a couple of months back. So let's talk about her replacement. And also there's another development with respect to the Paris Olympics as well. So 4-time Olympian and the 2012 bronze medalist Gagan Narang was chosen by the Indian Olympic Association to replace Mary Kom as the chef de mission. This is for the Indian contingent at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. In April, Mary Kom had resigned from this post, citing problems that had partly crippled her. Her decision came weeks after the Indian Olympic Association had chosen the boxing legend for the post. Apart from this, this is something that you may keep a note of. This is also important. So 2-time Olympic medalist, badminton ace, PV Sindhu, and 13-time Commonwealth Games medalist, table tennis veteran, Sharat Kamal, they have been the flag bearers or chosen to be the flag bearers for India at the 2020 for Paris Olympic opening ceremony. So please keep a note of these sports persons' names. So we have PV Sindhu and then we have Sharat Kamal. They will be the flag bearers at the opening ceremony for the Paris Olympics. And apart from that, now Gagan Narang has replaced Mary Kom. Tata Power launches Ghar solar initiative in the state of UP. So Tata Power Solar Systems Limited, it has launched a transformative rooftop solar initiative. Now this is aimed at powering every home in the state of UP with clean energy. The Ghar Solar Tata Power Ke Sang, this initiative, it offers financial savings and environmental benefits to residents through advanced rooftop solar solutions. With the average electricity tariff in Varanasi, this setup, it can save residents up to rupees 27,000 per year on their electricity bills. Another policy-related update is this one. So here, the Union Minister Piyush Goyal has announced concessions in licensing fees. So the Union Minister Piyush Goyal, he has unveiled significant fee concessions and also safety measures for the petroleum and explosives sector. This is during a stakeholder consultation in New Delhi. The minister, he announced an 80% licensing fee discount for women entrepreneurs and a 50% fee reduction for the small medium enterprises, aiming to boost their involvement in the economy. Now, this has brought us to the international segment realm, and first is an update about India with respect to Russia. So India is to open 2 new consulates in Russia. India will be opening 2 new consulates in Russia. One is going to be in Kazan, and the second one is going to be in Yekaterinburg. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he made the announcement while addressing Indian diaspora in Moscow. Currently, India has an embassy in Moscow, and the consulates is in, first we have St. Petersburg, and second we have Vladivostok. The Prime Minister, he emphasized the importance of new connectivity initiatives, including the International North-South Trade Corridor and the Chennai-Vladivostok Eastern Maritime Corridor. Philippines and Japan strengthen security ties with new agreement. So Japan and Philippines, they've signed a defense pact for joint military exercises, including live fire drills, amid concerns over China's assertiveness. The reciprocal access agreement, it lets Filipino forces train with Japan. India to sign, ratify High Seas Treaty. India will sign and ratify the Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Agreement. This is to protect marine biodiversity in the high seas through international cooperation under the UN clause. So this is essentially the law or the treaty, the prominent treaty with respect to governing the high seas. This was very much in news last year. The High Seas Treaty, or BBNJ, which is the Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Agreement, it ensures no country can claim ownership over marine resources in the high seas, which are open for activities like navigation and laying cables. The Ministry of Earth Sciences, it will oversee the implementation of this agreement in India. This agreement will be the 3rd implementation agreement under the UN clause, joining the 1994 agreement on seabed mining and the 1995 agreement on managing fish stocks. Now with this, we come to the legal news segment for the day, and this is the first update. It comes from the Honorable Supreme Court. Principle of res judicata, it is applicable between co-defendants if there exists conflict of interest between them. So observing that the principle of res judicata, it is applicable not only between the plaintiff and the defendant, but also between the co-defendants. So this is very important. Suppose there is a suit wherein the parties are as such. So A versus B and C. So there are 2 defendants, B and C. These are 2 co-defendants. Now, what are we saying here? We are saying that the principle of res judicata, it is applicable not only between A and B plus C, that is to say between plaintiff and the defendants, but it is also applicable between B and C, who are the co-defendants. So the Supreme Court held this while saying that the condition which is precedent to make the principle of res judicata applicable between the 2 co-defendants is that there should be a conflict of interest between the co-defendants. So when can the principle of res judicata be applicable between co-defendants? Your answer should be that whenever there is a conflict of interest between the co-defendants. So the co-defendants are situated in such a position that there is a conflict of interest inter se these co-defendants. Let's talk about the factual aspects of this particular case. So in this case, the appellant claimed rights over a certain acres of land as part of Cantonment Board property, while the respondent, which is the Cantonment Board, it asserted rights over a part of this property. The respondents argued that the plaintiff's suit, it was barred by res judicata because the previous suit involving the same property where the appellant and the respondent were co-defendants, it was dismissed without deciding the plaintiff's right, again the cantonment vote. So the Supreme Court here observed that since there was no adjudication of rights of the appellant over the suit property in a suit which is filed by Maharani, where the respondent was also a defendant, therefore the principle of res judicata will not be attracted, as the issue in the present suit was neither directly nor indirectly an issue in the previous suit, and there was no conflict of interest between the co-defendants in the said previous suit. So this entire discussion is with respect to the facts of this case. That is not relevant for our purpose. What we have to understand is that whenever there is a question as to whether, first of all, is the principle of res judicata applicable within co-defendants, your answer should be yes. But there are certain conditions. First, of course, is that all the ingredients which are needed for application of res judicata, section 11 of the CPC, those should be present. And additionally, there should be a conflict of interest within these co-defendants. The name of this particular case is Har Narayan Tiwari, deceased, now represented through the LRs, the legal representatives, versus the Cantonment Board or the CAT, and others. Now, next up is another update from the Supreme Court itself. So it says power of attorney, it is impliedly revoked when principal acts independent of agency with knowledge to agent and third parties. Let's have a look at it. So the Supreme Court has observed that there would be an implied revocation of power of attorney, which is granted to the agent. When can there be an implied revocation? If the act of principal choosing to act for himself, it is known to an agent and third person. The court said that the conduct of the principal and the knowledge of principal's conduct to the agent, these are the determinative factors while deciding the issue of whether the principal has revoked the power of attorney, which is granted to the agent. The name of this particular case is Thankamma George versus Lily Thomas and another. So this has brought us to an end of our DNA. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day ahead.